All right. So we can take off. Okay, so the main reason why we are here is to learn about mechanical design, the software being used in mechanical designing, so on and so forth. So I think when I came to level 100, we talked about a lot in designing, mechanical designing, and we have done a lot. Please hold on. All right, so, and I hope some of you guys here really have much interest in designing, things pertaining to designing, not graphic designing, but this one, it deals with engineering design, and that's, we also restrict ourselves to mechanical designing. All right, maybe as time goes on, we can also link ourselves to the building designing, the animation making, and a whole lot of stuffs. All right. So today, what we are going to talk about is solely, I'm going to introduce you guys, since this is the one of our 3 sections or 3 meetings in AutoCAD and Autodesk Inventor and SolidWorks also. So I think today being our first day, I'm going to introduce you guys to the softwares we are going to use during this section. And all the softwares we are going to use, we have the AutoCAD. They are all under Autodesk. So these softwares I'm about to mention, 2 of them are under Autodesk and 1 of them is separately, right? So we have the Autodesk. That is the AutoCAD software, and we have the Autodesk Inventor. So we have the Inventor software and the AutoCAD software, right? And the AutoCAD is the mother of all this kind of softwares, right? Under the AutoCAD Inventor or under the Autodesk, we have the Inventor, we have the Autodesk Architecture, we have the Autodesk Electricals, we have a whole lot. We have so many types of Autodesk, but we are going to restrict ourselves to Autodesk Inventor and also talk much more into details about the AutoCAD. When I came to level 100, I think we dealt with the AutoCAD software. Yeah, we dealt with the AutoCAD software much more compared to the. Now, I think you guys are doing the Autodesk Inventor, which is also very, very good because the Autodesk Inventor gives us it's really advanced. So as we dive into all this, you get to appreciate what I'm saying now. The AutoCAD is there and the Autodesk Inventor 2 is there. And we have the SolidWorks 2. Nevertheless, we have the SolidWorks 2, which it is very broad. With the SolidWorks, it is very broad. We use it for a whole lot of things with the SolidWorks, for simulation, for analyzing, and a whole lot of stuffs. So we are going to talk about all these things. That's why we are here. And also today I'm going to give you an overview of whatever we are going to do or discuss over here. All right. So please, does anyone or is anyone familiar with the AutoCAD or Autodesk or whatever it is? That's the CAD software. Let me put it that way, the CAD software. And the CAD there stands for computer-aided designing. Computer-aided designing. That's the CAD software. Is anyone familiar with the CAD software as a whole? Please, when I ask questions and you want to talk, you can unmute and answer. After that, you mute yourself back. So is anyone here having a clue of what the CAD Inventor is?
No, please.
All right, so please, who else? All right, so if you know the answer, you mute and you talk. But if you don't know the answer, I think you can stay mute for me to know that. Because when everyone wants to say no, please, it's like it will create a whole lot of. So please, if you know the answer, you unmute and you give us clue of it. Because we being teachers, I think there's also a discussion class. We are in a discussion class. All right. So please, is anyone familiar with the CAD software? With the CAD software, is anyone familiar? right, I can see some seniors here, but they don't want to talk. Yeah, I can see some seniors here, but they don't want to talk at all. All right. So simply computer-aided designing is a software. There are softwares that aid us in designing when it comes to the engineering firm, right? When it comes to the engineering firm, it aids us in designing. All right. Okay, so without wasting much time, we are going to talk about or dive into the world of AutoCAD and Autodesk Inventor, showing you how um, we go about that. And before talking about that, I think let me mention some of the basic stuffs or basic softwares as an engineer you have to know, as a mechanical engineer, you have to know. So we have the CAD software, Streamline, and we have the Autodesk AutoCAD Inventor, we have the SolidWorks, we have the CATIA, we have the Siemens NX, we have the PTC Creo. We have a whole lot of softwares that engineers use, but we are restricting ourselves today with AutoCAD Inventor and Autodesk Inventor, as well as the SolidWorks. That's what we are going to deal with in today. Since today being the introduction firm, I'm just going to give you an overview of what an AutoCAD is and what an Autodesk Inventor is and what a SolidWorks also is. And I'll also differentiate between these three because each of these software has its unique features and strength tailored to specific industries and design requirements. So we have some design requirements you can't use AutoCAD to do. We have some design requirements you can't use Autodesk to do, Inventor to do. We have some designs we can't use the SolidWorks to also do. All right. So without wasting much time, I think we would first of all take the AutoCAD software, right? Since most of you here are saying you are not familiar with the AutoCAD software, I think I will share my screen to you. Please, if you are using a laptop, right? If you are using this is just an introduction side. If you are using a laptop, please don't be dragging your mouse pointer here and there, else it might affect me working over here. All right. Okay. So without wasting my time, I'll share my screen for you to see how the Autodesk is, right? Okay. All right. I hope you can all see my screens. Please, can you all see my screens?
Yeah, can, you can see it.
And can you all please hear me clearly? Please, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I can hear you clearly.
All right. Please, I'm coming in. Give me a minute.
Yes, you can.
All right. So we can continue. All right.
Just one man.
All right, so this is the interface of the AutoCAD. I'm using AutoCAD 2016. I think it cuts across whether you are using AutoCAD 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, and even the 25. It cuts across. This is how the interface looks like. Is anyone familiar with something like this? Is anyone familiar with something like this?
No, please.
All right. So there's the AutoCAD application, right? And there's how the application looks like. We have a whole lot of menu over here. Don't get scared of everything or how you see the stuffs on the screen. As time goes on, you get used to how everything looks like. You get to know how to use them, so you will not be scared. It is just following basic principles and knowing what you are doing. All right. Okay, I'll be glad if we had our seniors here to talk about this whole thing. I would have been glad if we had them here. But since they are not around, I think maybe the day 2 or day 3, maybe they know there is the introduction or introductory aspect, so they skipped it. All right. So these are the interface looks like. We have a whole lot of things. Okay, so let me take you back to, I think I've gathered a whole lot of information online pertaining to AutoCAD. So I think we have to deal with that one first too. I'll share my screen to a PDF, which after the class, I'll share parts of the PDFs to you for free in the group so that you can also learn and know your left and right. I think with these tools or with these books I'm about to share, you know most of them, right? You know most of them. So I'll add it to my screen share so that, all right. So, all right. I hope you can all see now. I hope you can all see my screen.
No.
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
But
Okay.
I can see you.
All right. Please, can you all see it now? I've opened a PDF.
No.
We can see it.
Okay. So I think the person
I
saying
can't see
no
anything.
can. All right. So the person saying no can, I think, can check his or her internet connection to see what's actually going on with you. All right. So there's the screen and there's the introduction to. All right. So this is the introduction to AutoCAD. This is the introduction to AutoCAD. So you are going to learn. I think there's an upgrade, right? So I'm just going to dive into the main points or the main thing I want to share with you now. All right, so I'm coming. All right. All right, so there is just an overview of what we are going to do. So first of all, we will start by dealing with 3D drawing, how to draw 2D objects. I hope when you say two-dimensional objects or two-dimensional stuff, I hope you all understand what two-dimensional stuff is. All right. Please, can you all hear me? I feel I'm talking to myself. Please, can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay. All right. So this is one of the materials we mostly use on campus to teach the AutoCAD design or AutoCAD drawing, right? Okay. So this is one of the materials we used, but we are going to start off with these ones. All right. So this simply means we are going to go on ahead and use the user interface store. So I'm going to take you around how the AutoCAD looks like in a PDF. After that, we'll go to the AutoCAD software so that you have a look of how the thing looks like actually. All right. So this is the interface of the AutoCAD PDF, and this is the guide to the AutoCAD basis, right? So before you be able to draw anything, when I say AutoCAD, please don't mind me, okay? It applies to all the softwares, right? But we are sticking to the AutoCAD, right? So don't mind me when I only restrict myself to AutoCAD, because the PDFs or the slides I went to research for, I think I only searched for AutoCAD, but it basically applies to SolidWorks. It basically applies to Autodesk Inventor, Blender, a whole lot of designing softwares, right? So this session reviews the basic AutoCAD controls, the viewing. With the viewing section, we'll talk about the pan and the zoom in the drawing and the controls in order of overlapping objects. We'll talk about the geometry. And this geometry, when we say geometry, we all did geometry drawing in level 100, right? The geometry drawing simply deals with lines, circles, polygons, shapes, and other stuff. That's basically ellipse and all those stuffs. That's basically what the geometry section of the AutoCAD. When you say anything geometry, it deals with lines, shapes, circles, and so on and so forth. And we'll also talk about the precision, ensuring the precision required for your modeling. All right. So the word modeling here used is simply the thing you are drawing, or whether you are drawing a machine. The machine in the software then becomes what? Your modeling, right? The machine in your software then becomes your modeling. So with the modeling, we are going to do with the precision, we are going to ensure accurate dimensioning required for your modeling. We are going to ensure we toggle some of the features of the software on to ensure what precision design, right? And we are going to talk about the layers in the drawing. With that aspect, I think we are not going to go much into details with that because it is mostly applied when doing 2D designs. The layers I'm talking about here, it's mostly applied when doing 2D designs. And the properties also, you can assign properties such as colors. Okay, so you can assign properties such as colors and what? Line time. Please, can you hold on for me a bit? All right, sorry guys. So, and also we are going to talk about the modifying, performing end operations such as erasing, moving, trimming on other objects in the drawing. That's to modify an object. To modify means to make changes to something, right? So we will learn how to modify an already existing drawing or modify how you draw. So I'm not yet to open the app, the software to show you that when you make a mistake, clean. No, I'm here to explain to you why you even do and what the operation you are doing. That's the erasing operation, the moving, the trimming on the objects in the drawing, right? And we are also going to talk about the blocks. That's the inserting symbols and details in your drawings from commercial online sources and other stuffs. But I think with that one, we will not dive much into it because it deals with the with yourself or the specification or the design you are doing, right? We are going to talk about the layout. That's the design, one or more scaled view, and the design. And that one to the layout, I'm going to show you a trick, right, of how to do that. And we are not going to really focus on the book principle. I think with the book principle, it's also helped, but I've worked with this AutoCAD and Autodesk Inventor software for quite a time, so I know how to maneuver or go around some of these stuffs. All right. And we have the notes and labels, how to save and restore your styles, even how to save your work, they are also part. And we also talk about the dimensioning. Now, this is where the problem comes with when it comes to engineering drawing as a whole, right? Dimensioning is a very big problem, right? Now, as an engineer, you should know the kind of dimension you are using, right? Or the kind of, how do you call it? The kind of units you are using. Unit, when I say unit, I hope as an engineer, since we are all done with level 100, you all understand unit. Unit is simply the millimeters, the meters, the centimeters, the inches, the feet, what have you. That's a unit I'm talking about. When in designing, when we say unit, 1 unit, we have not restricted ourselves to a particular unit. We are just saying unit in general, unless maybe we are being specific, saying maybe 1 meters, 2 meters, or 3 meters. That's when we are maybe with a unit, we've limited ourselves to meters, or when we say 10 centimeters, we've limited ourselves to 10 centimeters. All right. Okay, so without wasting much time, and also with the printing, so the output a drawing layout to print a plotter. So with the plotter, the plotter is not just plotting, please. It deals with a whole lot of stuff. The plotting, how to plot in AutoCAD or SolidWorks or Inventor, how to plot. You see, when you go to this land surveyors, right? They give you for your maybe indenture or something, you see some of the sketches in them. They use the layout, right? They plot it. Intina asase, inti main country. Intina asase, some land we call the land plot. The plot is not just the land name. The plot is something, is a layout, right? The whole meaning of plot is a layout of something, right? So assuming we have 4 blocks and we are being asked to plot one out, that's when we get maybe 1 plot, 2 plots, or 3 plots. So you see, when land in the field of construction, right? In the field of construction, someone will say, I have 1 acre of land, and 1 acre of land pertains to what? 4 plots. 1 acre of land is 4 plots, meaning 4 blocks make that 1 acre. So 4 plots make that 1 acre. So this plot we are talking about here, it really entails a lot. So please, when we get to that stage, please understand what we are doing, because when plotting or when printing out, I think with the standard sheet size we use, I think we all know it's either A4 sheet, A3 sheet, A2 sheet, A1, a whole lot of paper size we use. All right, so these are the basic. I'm diving into the AutoCAD software, so please pay attention. So, all right. So please, I'm diving into the software, so please pay attention, very close attention. So these are the basics, right? So after you launch the AutoCAD software, this is basically what you see, like this, something like this, right? When you launch the software, this is basically what you see. And this is the same as what the PDF is showing us. All right, good. So when you launch the software, this is what you see. You see your start drawing. Please hold on. All right. So you see this portion, right? And you see something like this. And we will talk about all this, right? Okay. Please pardon me. All right. So after you launch your AutoCAD software, click the Start Drawing button to begin a new drawing, which I'm going to demonstrate to you guys. All right. And also, AutoCAD includes a standard tap ribbon across the top of the drawing area. You can access nearly all the commands presented in guide from the Home tab. In addition, quick access tools shown below indicate familiar commands such as new, open, save, print, undo, so on and so forth. All right. So this simply saying, let me take you to the AutoCAD software. With this tab, right? Mine is AutoCAD 2016. I think what the book or the PDF is talking about maybe it's dealing with, let's say, maybe AutoCAD 2022 or 23. I think it really looks like the current version of AutoCAD. Okay. So mine is AutoCAD 2016, and I have my own personal reasons for not upgrading to the latest version of what? AutoCAD. I have my personal reasons, and which I might share it with you guys. All right. So this is the whole interface of AutoCAD, and we are talking about this this one. We are talking about this one up there. This allows you to what? To create new drawing, to open an existing drawing, and to do what? To manage your sheets, right? And we have, when you click this tab, right, a whole lot of menu opens, which you can add, maybe show menu. You can add hide menu bar. You can hide show menu bar. This is the menu bar we are talking about. I think we've all done ICT in school, so there shouldn't be any problem, any big issue. All right. So it is very simple. So let us go back to our PDF. All right, so this is the menu. So let me open the menu. Let me start my drawing. I'll start my drawing like this. All right, so please, I'm coming. All right, so this is the whole interface of AutoCAD. Please, I hope you can all see my screen. Please unmute and talk so that I can know I'm not here alone. All right, please, can you all see my screen?
Yeah,
No.
see it.
Yeah, please, can you all see it now? Can you all see my screen?
Yes,
No.
yes, please.
Still.
We can't view it. No, it's there. I think because it's not drawing, you not see it well.
Network.
Okay, if it's blurred, then I think it's a network issue for my end. I think with my subsequent meeting, I'll work on that. Okay, you know, we all know the network we have in Ghana now. So please pardon me, but I think you can see it. You can see it. And after the meeting, I'll be glad to update, or I'm recording this meeting. So, but the fact that I'm recording doesn't mean just be in the group and I'll share the recorded videos to you. No. Please join, have a live experience.
See the pointer.
Okay,
See the pointer.
Okay, so you can see the pointer, right?
Yes, please.
But you can't see anything else.
No.
All right, so
it's actually black with just a pointer.
Black with just a pointer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have to check my share screen very well. Okay, nice. Can you all see it now?
Yes, please.
Clearly.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right. So meaning when I was talking about the menu bar and other stuff, you guys weren't seeing it.
Oh, we saw it.
Oh, okay. So basically, this is the interface of the AutoCAD. When you install the AutoCAD freshly, right? When you freshly install the AutoCAD software, right? This is what you will see. This is the menu you see. This menu is different from the other menu, right? When you install the AutoCAD freshly, this is what you see. And please, mind you, this is just a class to give you a clue of what is ahead of you. During in level 200 second semester, you are not going to do AutoCAD software. But this is just a plus. I'm not really going to talk about the inventor because I can say I can teach you, but I'm not going to dive really into it. Right? I'll just give you the overview of the inventor, and we'll dive into the AutoCAD software, because with the Inventor, they are going to teach you, right? We are going to teach you on campus, so there is no need for me to start teaching you now over here. Do you get me? And if you want that aspect, right, since there is a beginner class and there is a free class, if you want that side aspect too, you can DM me, we can talk about that one. But I'm not really going to dive into it. I'm talking about the AutoCAD, the Inventor and the SolidWorks app. All right. Please, can you mute yourself?
Monday, market.
All right. So I'm not going to really dive into it because we will teach you, right? We will teach you when we start. We'll start next semester. We will teach you guys everything, right? But since you guys didn't get the opportunity to do the AutoCAD, so I'm giving you the overview of how all these softwares do what actually look like. All right, so this is the AutoCAD interface. This is the mechanical interface. This is the mechanical side, right? Okay, so this is the mechanical side. Yes. All right. Okay, so this is the interface. And now we are first going to deal with what? The 2D interface, right? Okay, so let's go back to two we were using, right? Please, can you see my screen? Hello, guys. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So, without wasting my time, we'll talk about the command window. At the heart of the AutoCAD is the command window, which is normally docked at the bottom of the application window. This command displays what? Prompt, options, and what? Messages. You can enter commands directly in the command window instead of using the ribbon toolbar. The ribbon toolbar is what we talked about earlier. AutoCAD users prefer this method. It is very true, right? When we get to the AutoCAD software, right? These are the command ribbon we are talking about. All these commands, we have a whole lot of them, which I think as humans, we can't keep everything or we can't recall everything in our minds. So simply, assuming I'm doing a drawing and I forget where I'm supposed to pick the line command, what do? I just come to the command center, just type on my keyboard line. You see, the line command will be selected for me to do what? To do my work, to do whatever I want to do to do. Very simple, right? So instead of me to select line at the draw section, right? So let me okay, so let me start explaining this before we even get there. So at the AutoCAD interface, this is the home section, right? I call this the modeling section. This one is mostly deals with what? Changing 2D objects into what? 3D. This is the modeling section. This is the modeling section. And this is the mesh. And this one, we use it in certain drawings. Personally, I've used it before in one of my projects I was drawing. And we have the solid editing, right? We have the solid editing. We have the draw tab, the draw section, or the draw ribbon, which consists of what? We have something we call the polyline. We have something we call what? The 3D polyline. We have the 3 points. This one is used in drawing the arc. We have what? The spline. The spline I will explain. We have the line. We have the circles. We have the polygons and the hexagons and a whole lot. We have the triangle and we have the ellipse, right? That's the drawing section. And even with that, we also have the helix. Helix, like helix, you understand. I don't want to. I think I'm rushing myself. Then we have the helix. And when it comes to the modification section, that's when you can see the move tool, we can see the copy tool, we can see the offset tool, we can see the polar array, the rectangular array, the circular array, we can see the trim tool, we can see the mirror tool, and a whole lot of stuff, right? There are a whole lot of stuff. And as I was saying, you can't, it's not everything that you can recall as a human being, right? It is not everything that you can recall. So the best thing for you to do is what? You can come and type. Maybe you want to copy something. You can click here, type copy. The command will come, the first one, copy. You select this one, you copy it to wherever you want to what? Copy your object or your item to. Very simple. And we have this section. This section is very complicated, but I think as time goes on, you get to know about it. And we have the coordinates, right? Okay, let me ask you this question, right? Let's see, let's brainstorm. When we say coordinates, or in engineering or in our daily lives, how many coordinates do you think we have? The major coordinates do you think we have? In the line of engineering, how many coordinates do you think we have? Please, anyone can answer and no answer is wrong. The coordinates we have. Or
Yeah,
okay,
please,
let
we
me
have
okay.
yeah, the X, Y, and then the Z.
Okay, we have the X, Y, and the Z. So we have the three. That's okay. Maybe I said coordinates. Maybe some of you are confused. Maybe let me put it this way. Cartesian plane. I think with that one, everyone is familiar with because we all did engineering mechanics. So we are familiar with the X, Y, and the Z. We have the YZ, we have the YZ, we have the X, a whole lot of stuff. We'll not dive into that one. So this one deals with the coordinates, right? In the designing, this one deals with the coordinates we have. We have the origin, we have the x-axis vector, we have the 3 points coordinates, a whole lot. And this one deals with the view. This is also important in designing. This view you see over there, it entails a lot. That's when we change the drawing. You see, this view is what? This view is in a 2D format. This view we are seeing here is in a 2D format. If you want to turn it to 3D, it basically means you have to come to this side to do what? To change your view. Let me select this one. We have a lot of view. We have the SW isometric view. When I say SW, we have the southwest isometric view. We have the southeast isometric view. We have the northeast isometric view. We have the northwest isometric view. We have the top view. We have the bottom, right, left, and back view. We have the front view. It's the same as in maybe mechanical drawing, engineering drawing. We are being asked to draw the front view of an object, right? Let me demonstrate something to you guys so that I think we can start. We can start. Assuming I have this cube like this, right? This in a 2D form. So when I want to change this into 3D form, we have the what? Northeast view. We have so many views over here. These are the views, north, east, west, and what? South. But in the shortcuts I've learned, right? The shortcuts I've learned in all this, just press this home icon. I hope you can all see the home icon. Where my mouse pointer is. When you just press it, it will just change into what? Your 3D view for you. You see? It will just change your 3D, how do you call it? A 3D view for you. Which is very, 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 very simple. Right? So these are the views I was talking about. So assuming maybe I select southeast view, it will give me southeast view. Assuming I select northeast view, it will give me a northeast view. You see northeast. When I select here, southeast, you see it's southeast. So the same way I can use, I can make use of these two over here, these tools you see over here. I can make use of this. Same way I can make use of this, selecting my views from all angle. You will dive into it. You will get to understand very well, right? Okay. So, and there is a section, and this section, I think we also use it, and this is the layer I was talking about. And with this layer section, right? All right. So, I think, okay. So with this layer section, we use it a lot for some reasons. We use it a lot, and I'll show you the reason. And with this view section too, we use it a lot. But I think at your level, let us maintain this same energy. All right. So having talked about all this, let us go back to what the PDF has for us. All right. So this is the mouse, right? In AutoCAD, right? We have or in mechanical designing, someone has mastered using the trackpad of. All right. So. All right. So someone has mastered using what? The trackpad of his or a laptop. I've even seen some people using pencils. I'm not talking about the normal pencil, but smart pencils and tablets, making designs on phones. But when using laptop, right, you definitely going to need a mouse, right? A mouse to do your drawing. So please, if you don't have a mouse pad or a mouse cordless, whether wireless or whether wired, wireless, or any type of mouse, optical mouse, a pinball, all the type of mouse, please get a mouse so that it will make your work look easy for you. All right. So using the mouse, these are the specific buttons, right? During our ICT class 3, class 4, we learned that this is what the right click, and this is what the left click, and this is what that round thing. I hope a lot of you over here don't really know the name of this exact thing. Or please, can someone help me out? The name of this thing, the round something in the mouse. Can someone help me out? Please, can someone help me out? The name of this. Please, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. The scroll button.
The scroll button. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. I nearly embarrassed myself. I nearly embarrassed myself. All right. So that's the scroll button, or the scroll button. So we are going to need all these. Everything around the mouse is very important. You see, we have some type of mouse. We have advanced mouse that has extra buttons on it, right? Which the mouse can be programmed to align with whatever particular software you are using on the computer. We have the up and down buttons on the mouse, and other stuffs. We have up and down buttons and stuffs. Okay, so this is the right click, this is the right click, this is the left click, and there's what the scroll button. And the scroll button over here, in our designing term, the scroll button is going to serve as what? The pan and zoom button for us. So now we are going to change our scroll button to what? Pan and zoom. So remember, put it in mind that anytime you are designing, the scroll buttons then becomes what? Your pan and zoom. When I say pan and zoom, you see the hands over there. So pan means to pick something, and using the scroll, whether the opposite side, whether upside or downside, it means what? The zoom button. All right. So there is the zoom button, and there is the scroll button. How to use the pan and zoom. So you see, I clicked inside my scroll button and I got the pan. So this means I'm panning. I'm panning my work. Right, this is the pan features. You click inside, or you click on the scroll button and you drag your mouse around. That is the pan, right? That is the pan. Okay. Now let us go back. So, and also we have what? Zoom button. This is how the zoom button works. Zoom, I'm zooming in with the scroll button inside and up. All right, I think I have to rush a little bit. All right, and the right button over here gives us what? Our shortcut. the right button over here, when you open here and I right click on the mouse, it gives us what? Our menu, the shortcut to a whole lot of another menu altogether, which is going to confuse you. But please, it is not confusing. With this one, as time goes on, you get to understand everything and embrace everything. It is very user-friendly if you understand what you are doing. Okay, it's very user-friendly. Shit. All right. So, yeah, so, and this is what? Our select object and specify location. So the select object, we are just going to use this one to select object. You see, it has been a rectangle as I drew has been highlighted in blue, right? So it means I have selected it, and I use that. I did that with the help of my left click on the mouse. You just get closer to the object, and I'll left click on it to select, right? All right. Let us see what the book has for us. And you say what? Specify location. This is a specified location we are talking about. Right? So when I select it and maybe I want to move it to a different location, I just tap it on it and move it to a specific location. I just tap on it and move to a specific location. All right. So please, you can unmute and answer. I hope you all now know how to use the mouse button in AutoCAD. Please unmute and answer. Unmute and answer. All right, please unmute and answer. I hope you are all now okay with how to use the mouse button. Any question up to this point?
Yes, please.
Any question up to this point? Any question? Any question?
Please, my question is with regards to the interface.
Okay.
There are sometimes, we have those metric boxes on the interface.
Okay.
But sometimes the metric boxes escape from the interface. How do you restore it back to that form?
Very good question. So without wasting my time, we will get there, right? With the interface, I'm still on it on the interface. We will get there. That's the metrics boxes you are talking about in the AutoCAD. We call it grid. We have the grid. The grid, we have a whole lot of types. So please, we will get there. Okay, don't worry. We have a lot of stuff to share. All right, please. Any question? Who else? Any question? Any question? Any question? All right, so we are getting, please invite your friends, share the link to your friends to join, share the link, help a brother, share the link, let them experience what's going on over here. Let them experience what's going on over here. Share the link for them to join. The link is on the WhatsApp platform. Invite a brother, call a friend, tell them to join. Right. So let us continue. So there's the new drawing tab, and you can easily confirm to what industry or company standard. And I think conform simply means following the standard. And the standard we all use is what? You see, it has been highlighted. The measurements are also there. The measurement, that's the metrics. The metrics or what? The metric or measurement you might also experience with them. And these are what? The imperial drawings you assume units are inches, uses. This thing. You get to understand it very well. You get to understand it very well. And these are the formats, the metric units that we use. When it comes to the inventor, it is very simple over there, but with the AutoCAD, it's a little bit complicated. We will dive into that aspect too. All right. So this one is to create your own drawing, right? You can either create it out of an already existing template. You see, when you want to make a new CV, right? CV as in normal CV we write to seek for jobs, employment, and other stuff. You see, you go online to search for templates, right? Same applies to AutoCAD. When you're about to start any drawing, you can go online and look for templates to start with. Assuming I've seen a building. Let me dive into the world of construction a bit. Assuming I've seen a nice building online, and let's say the designs are open source. When I say open source, meaning you can just select the design and edit. meaning that design becomes what? Your templates you use, right? Same in AutoCAD. You can download templates online. Or same in mechanical drawing. You can download templates online and use it the same, and which is almost, it will be equal to drawing, making your own drawing. And sometimes I do that, but I think with our world, mechanical designing, it is very expensive. You see, to sit down and draw a simple object, right? It can take you not less than 4-5 hours to make a complete drawing of machine. You can even use 12 hours. I've sat down for 12 hours to make a design before. So imagine making a design and putting it out there for free. So I think with our world of mechanical designing, it will be very expensive for someone to just put a design out there for free. Some are paid version and some also are just an illustration version. When I say illustration version, you can view the design, but you can't touch it. You can't edit it. The design has been logged. When you try to edit it, it won't work. It's because it is very expensive to sit down and make designs 8 hours, 10 hours. Sometimes even some designs take close to one day, sometimes 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks. You see, so it is not for free, and mechanical designing is very expensive. Let me tell you for a fact, mechanical designing, it is very expensive. It is never cheap. All right, so there is a template we are talking about, and there is a unit I was talking about, right? It's very simple. When you first start a drawing, you need to decide the length of one unit represents. You see, I made this example that 1 unit, you have to know the length it's represent. And you see DWT and other stuffs, don't get confused. I'm making it simple for you. Assuming you are working in, let's say, millimeters, right? Put it in mind that you are using millimeters throughout, right? So let's say when you see 25 units, it stands for the millimeters you use. And this boils down to the kind of standard you chose, right? Let us move to this part. You see this one, they told you what? They talked about the units, this one, and they talked about this one as well, right? So you should know the kind of units you are dealing in or you are dealing with. That's the dimensioning. Whether 6.5, so when let us all read this. He said, for example, a decimal length of 6.5 can be set to display 6.50, 6.55, and 6.555. And mostly, this is for accuracy and precision. You see, in mathematics, when you are giving or when you run something, you see, when you are doing something like physics, right, and you get a decimal, they will advise you to run it in what, 3 or 4 decimal places for accuracy, right? For accuracy's sake. So that's the same thing it is displaying here, and it is talking about what the precision. For example, a decimal length 6.5 can be set to display 6.50, 6.500, 6.5000, depending on the precision or accuracy you want for your design, right? And you can change the units and the format, and it does not affect the internal precision of what you're drawing. It only affects how lengthy or length or how length, angles, coordinates are displayed in your user interface, right? So it is very simple. Let me illustrate this for you. All right, let me delete this. So assuming I pick my line like this, draw one line like this, right? So this unit is in what? You can see this in about 1,000. So this is giving us something like 15,000. So assuming I'm designing and the grade and the matrices you were talking about, the grade, this display, it's showing me this display. But when I type in something like, let's say 100, and I press enter, you think I've drawn nothing, but actually this is the line I've drawn. You see, this is the line, and it's almost the same as me drawing what? When I draw 1,000, first I use 100, let me use 1,000. This 1,000. This 1,000, this 100. So I can decide that maybe the design or the drawing I'm making, I'll work in thousands, or I'll set my matrices to 1,000, meaning when I do this and this is the same as when I use this small dimension and do this, right? It's the same. It all depends on you. It doesn't affect the precision or accuracy of the drawing, but it's just the user interface that you see it as. You see it differently, right? You see it differently. Okay, so let us get back to our PDF. So we have module scale. Yes, this is a scaling. This is a scaling. We'll talk about it. This scaling, we've done it 1:1. You should know the meaning. 1:1 AA. Mr. Makunin has taught us all these things. We have dimensioning, we have call out, and other stuff. So, and we also talk about the viewing. That's when I think we've already talked about the zooming in or out by rolling the wheel, pan to zoom in there by holding the wheel between while moving the mouse. That's the pan and what zoom, and this is the zoom in and zoom out, right? And this is the overlapping object. I think we will talk about these ones, but let me first talk about this one. Let me zoom in very well so that you understand it very clearly what I'm trying to say. All right. So let us talk about this one here. Now, this is a move tool. This is the rotate tool. This is used to rotate an object. This is used to move an object from one side towards the other. That's one position to the other position. And this is a copy tool. Assuming I'm having something like this. Assuming I'm having a box like this. Right? And I want to move everything. I'll just highlight everything by just clicking on any space on the desktop, highlighting it and clicking it back. I'll select my words, either move to, because I want to move it. And you come and select what? The specific base point. When we say the specific base point, the point at which you want to move the object. Assuming you've drawn a circle, right? Assuming I've done this circle, and I've done another circle, and I've selected another circle too, I've done a small circle, and I want this small circle to come in between this one. I can't just select my move tool, select or highlight my move tool, highlight the circle I want to move, select my move tool, and select this side, and come and paste it at the center of the other circle. It doesn't work that way. It will overlap, which this is not the kind of design we want, right? This is what we want. So you highlight your drawing, you select your move, you click the center part, you drag it to the center, and it will give you a very accurate look. You see, very accurate. Very accurate. All right. So let us continue. And this is the mirror tool, right? The mirror tool, it is a little bit complicated, and it is for advanced people, but I think as beginners you can make use of it. The mirror tool, assuming I want to, I've drawn a box like this. Okay, let me use the 2D space very well. Let me utilize the 2D space. Okay, assuming I have a box like this, right? And I want to mirror it. I want to draw the same thing, right? Or maybe I've drawn something like this over here, which takes a lot of time, which will waste my time, right? I think it wastes my time when I want to repeat the same process here. So what do? I just come here, the mirror tool. You just come to the modification panel. The mirror tool is located at the modification panel. Please take note of that. You just select the modification panel. You just select the mirror tool. You select all what you want to mirror. You press enter, and you select the axis, right? Or the line at which I want my mirror to be. So I want my mirror to be here. So what do? I can select this center. No, I can select, let me do it again. Select this mirror. I want the mirror to fall here. So I can select this line, simply this line, and rotate it here. So this axis, please, can someone tell me the name of this axis? When it's going straight, what's axis? And when it's coming, when it's crossing, what's axis? This is the vertical, and that other side is the horizontal. So please, on the coordinates we talk about, please, what axis is my, do I have to move my mouse? All right, anyone can unmute and answer. At what axis can I move my mouse? Anyone can unmute and answer. Okay, anyone can unmute and answer. Or please, you don't understand what I was talking about.
You're not getting it clear, please.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that, right, when I'm moving to this direction, when I'm drawing and I'm moving to this direction, what coordinates am I moving in? We've already established the fact that we have the Y, the X, and the Z. So what coordinates am I moving in now? And please, if you are using any form of, please don't distract my screen, okay? I think someone is using a mouse pointer and it is distracting my screen. All right, I think it is done. So when I'm moving to this direction, what coordinate am I moving at? When I'm moving to this direction is what? And this direction is what? This direction is what? And this direction is what?
Please, what is the direction you are showing now?
The direction coming down, it's following some path over here, looking at the origin, this side. Look,
If you move up and down, you are moving in a Y direction.
Good.
And then moving
when I move sideways, I'm moving at the X direction.
X direction,
Yes.
yeah.
Good. So what I'm trying to say is that, assuming I have this design, right? Assuming it took me 3 hours to make this design, right? Do you want to spend another 3 hours to create a new one over here? No. And that's why they made a tool for us. And that tool is called the mirror tool. And it is found at the modification panel. When you click at the modification panel, you see this is the mirror tool. This is the mirror. So you just select the mirror tool, highlight whatever object you want to mirror. To mirror means to make a duplicate of something, right? When you see yourself in a mirror, you've seen a duplicate of you in the mirror. So this is how it is now. I'll highlight everything and press enter on my keyboard and select the end. Assuming I want all this to rotate to come to the other direction to fill this entire space, I'll just select the center point of this and drag it down and move towards the Y direction. That was the answer I was looking for. And just click on it. They will ask you, a prompt will come, erase subject object, erase source object. The source object is simply where you are taking the shape from. You just select no or yes. If you select yes, this part, right? This part will be erased. But when you select no, this part, they will both stay. So I'll select no, meaning now I have 2 objects without wasting another time to do what? To draw the whole thing again. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good. All right, I might use this. So let us go back to the PDF. All right, so this is the mirror and this is the fillet, right? So let us talk about the fillet too. Let's say I've drawn a rectangle. Let's say I've drawn a rectangle. I've drawn a rectangle like this, right? You see, to fillet something means to avoid this thing to get sharp edges, right? We want a smooth edge of the thing. And this is how the fillets look like, right? This is how the fillet looks like. Okay, this is the fillet. So you just come to the modification panel. This is the symbol I showed. That's the fillet. You just select your fillet and you just select the area you want to what? Curve. When you have a fillet, right? Hey. All right. So when you have something and you want to fillet, assume I want to fillet this edge, right? I'll select the other line and select the other line and give the radius, right? You can select your fillet. You come down here to the command button, give the radius at which you want to fillet, right? Assuming I want to fillet it 100, I type in my 100, press enter, select this side and do what? Select this side. Now I now have what? My rounded edge, right? But pardon me, this is not what I intended to do, how I intended to fillet it. So let me do it again. I'll select my fillet, select my radius, type in the radius. Let's say I want to fillet it 10. I'll press enter, select this line and select this line again. You see this side, right? This side becomes different from the other side. This side, right? This side becomes different from this side. You see, very simple. Very simple. Okay, so let us continue. So that's the uses or the function of the fillet. All right. And we have the stretch. The stretch is almost the same as the move tool. Assuming I've drawn a rectangle with a maybe with a size of maybe with a width and length, a square with a width and length of 12 millimeters, right? And I want to stretch it a bit to change the shape from a square to a rectangle. I can just use the stretch tool, stretch the rectangle for it to do what? To move. And this is the scaling, and this is the array, right? The scaling, I'll come back to that. This is the array. Let us talk about the array. Assuming, let us talk about the array. Assuming I have these circles, I've drawn a lot of circles, right? Okay, I've drawn a lot of circles. This will waste my time. Drawing this, assuming I need about 20 circles, do I always have to pick my circle to draw it, pick another circle to draw it, pick another circle to draw it? No, it's a waste of time. You waste your time. So what do? You can use something we call the array. This is the array. We have the rectangular array, and we have the path array, and we have the polar what array. With the polar array, when you go to the Autodesk Inventor, we call something the circular array and the rectangular array at the AutoCAD Inventor. Okay. So assuming I want something like this, I want a polar array like this. I can't just, or assuming I've drawn a circle like this, a big circle like this, right? Let's say 250, right? And I pick my circle like this, let's say 20, right? And I want this circle to be equally divided. Let's say I'm drawing this small circles 20 times. So I want it to be equally divided. The best tool for me to use here is what? Now, who can tell me? Between the rectangular, the path array, and the polar array, which two best suit what I want to do? I want to draw these small circles. Plenty. Let's say I want to draw 10 of them around this big circle, but I want it to be divided equally. What tool do you think is it best suits the kind of outcome I want? Yes, you can unmute and talk. Is it a rectangular array? Is it
Polar
a
array.
polar array? Why is it a polar array?
The polar array have a circular form of arrangement.
Okay. Yes. That's true. That's true. So you use what? The polar array. So you select the polar array. I'm sorry. You select the polar array. Select the small circle. Press enter on the keyboard. And now what do? I want it to revolve around a particular point. I want this small circle to revolve about a particular point. So what do I do next? After selecting the small circle, I select the center, right? Now it has these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are what 6 items, and the items are found here. So I said I want to divide it, or I want 10 circles. So I'll just type in my 10. This is my 10. This is 10. Now it has been divided into 10. I'll just type in my 10 and press enter. Equal parts, right? And with our local drawing, you can select a circle, find the center point of the circle, blah blah blah, and do what? And divide the circles into what? Into 10 equal parts, which I think we all know how to do it. But you know, this computer aided design. So the computer must aid you to do what? Everything. The computer has to aid you to do what? Everything yourself. So that you don't need to stretch much more on everything, right? Okay. So that's the uses of the array, right? The rectangular array too. It's when you have a rectangle like this. Let's say it doesn't only apply to circles. You can use rectangles too, okay, or circles in a rectangle. Assuming I want you to what? Fill all the entire space over here. I just come and select my rectangular array. Select it like this, press enter. You see, it has filled everything, the whole box. What do I do? What do I need to do next? I just need to select the columns. Assuming I want 10 columns. And I want, let's say, 20 rows, or let's say 5 rows. You see, then you just delete the unwanted part. But because we've not dimensioned anything here, that's why you are seeing something like this. But when we are to use accurate dimensions, we would have followed the dimensions we have created to make the drawing very accurate and what precisioned. All right. So I think that's all for that side. And there's the modification panel. We will not dive much more into that aspect. I think we'll also come to the geometry aspect, right? There's the geometry, and he said, create basic geometry objects such as lines, circles, hatched areas. You can create many different type of geometry objects in AutoCAD, but you only need to know a few of them for most 2D drawings. Most 2D drawings, you basically use lines, polyline, circle, and arcs. This rectangle, this ellipse, and this is the hatches they were talking about, right? And these are how to use the lines. Okay, so I think we've drawn lines, and these are the coordinate system which we have talked about. We have the Y plane and we have the X plane. So you should know your plane, whether it falls this way. What is this plane? What is this? Whether it's you have something like this, and you have something like this, you have something like this. What plane is this and what plane is this? You should know everything. And you have the grid view, right? So the grid view is what you are talking about, my brother, the one who asked the question. So now we ask the grid view, okay? We are about to discuss the grid view. The one who asked the question. The grid view. Okay, so let us dive into the grid view. So the grid view, people like working with grid lines as reference, while others prefer working in blank areas. For me, I prefer grid lines because it helps me, or it guides me to know what I'm actually doing. Assuming drawing in plain space. As for me personally, I'm going to find it very difficult, right? So turn off the grid display. You are going to press what? F7. So let us demonstrate it. So the moment I press F7 on my keyboard, right? I get the grid display off and I get it on. This is the grid you are talking about. The grid is off. This one is what you are this is what you were talking about. This and this. Grid on, grid off. Can you all see it? Please unmute and talk to me. Can you all see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. So this is the grid view and this is the snap on. The snap, I'll explain it to you later on. Okay. So let us continue. And these are basically what? The circles. The circles too, we have two types. We have so many types of circle. We have the center radius, meaning from the moving from the center like this, from this one to like this is the radius. It can also be, you have the center diameter, meaning the whole diameter. So assuming you are given a circle of maybe radius of 20, meaning from this side to this side becomes what? 20. Becomes your 20. And you are given a diameter, right? Meaning all these ones, this side, the whole length or the whole thing becomes what? Your 20. So please, you know the difference. And we have 2-point circles, 3 points, and we have the tangent radius. The tangent simply means tangent radius. Tangent radius. And we have tangent. I will demonstrate that to you for you to understand it clearly. Okay. All right. So let us continue. We have the polylines or the P-lines. So a polyline is a connected sequence. Please focus. Listen to me very carefully. A polyline is a connected sequence of line or arc segments that is created as a single what? Object. Use the polyline command to create open or close polylines for geometry that requires what? Fixed width segment. Continuous path for which you need to know the total what? Length. Counter lines for topographic mapping and what? Isobaric data. Like the maps, when you see Ghana map and other stuff, when designing, or the Google map, they used polylines in designing wire diagrams and trace on printing circuit board and process and piping diagrams, right? So this is basically the polylines, right? Let me go and illustrate it to you here. This is the polylines. This thing that lines that needs what? Continuous what? Path. You see, I'm not clicking or pressing anything. No. You see, it's following like that. It's following it like that. It's following it like that. It's following it like that. Okay, so before I dive much into polylines, please, any question up to this point? Any question? Any general question? Any question?
No questions, sir.
Okay, so let us continue. All right. So these are the polylines. And we have the rectangle too. We have the 2-point rectangle. We have the 3-point rectangle, a whole lot. And we have the hatch and fields. We'll talk about that too. With that one, I think the building engineers mostly use it. They really use that one to create the hatch. The building engineer mostly use it. Right. And we have the precision. We have some features in AutoCAD that needs to be turned on immediately you do a fresh installation. These features are the polar tracking, the locking angles, the object snap, the grid snaps, and what? The coordinates entry. These are very basic stuffs. like this, when you come here to my screen and you come to this side, you see this, you can take a screenshot of it or take note of it. Whenever you are designing, make sure these things, these are the ones I prefer to be on. These weren't on by default. I turn them on because I know what I want to do and what to I know what to achieve. So I turn the end point on, the midpoint on, the center and the geometric center, the node. I think mostly sometimes when I'm dealing with circles, so many circles, I use the node, the quadrant, and what's the intersect and what the extension. Intersection and what extension. So the midpoint, right? Let me illustrate it to you. So with the help of the midpoint, right? When I draw something like this, you see there is a center to everything. And assuming I pick another line that I'm about to draw, the moment I bring it here, the software automatically directs me to where I want to point. You see, it gives some form of locking to that space so that maybe assuming this midpoint is not turned on. Assuming this midpoint is not turned on, right? This midpoint is not turned on. I wouldn't have get the center. You see, the center is not coming, which maybe I have to calculate and know the center. But the moment the midpoint is on, I just drag it here. I'll see the center, right? So that I can do whatever I want. And this is the center. When the center is off, I can't locate any center. I can't locate any center. When I pick any two, I can't locate any center. This is because the geometric center is on. But when the geometric center 2 is off, or the quadrant, I can't locate any center again. It's because it's not working because I initially turned everything on. So that's about when these things are off, you find yourself wanting in some particular designs, right? So all these enables you to work faster and make great efficiency in whatever you are doing. All right. So the locking angles. Okay. Yeah, please. I think someone said he's out. All right, so there's it. All right, so there's it. With the locking angles, this is how we lock angles. You see, these are the angles, right? These are the angles. This is the restraining of angles. This is the locking of angles. So that maybe when I select an angle, it will lock me to maybe 45 degrees, so on and so forth. I've made some settings. I don't want to change them. That's why I'm not illustrating, but I'm just giving you an overview of how important all these stuffs are. All right. So these are the things I was talking about. You see, by default, these are the only things that are turned on. But for your help, toggle this one on, midpoint on, geometry center on, the quadrant or the node on. You can even toggle the tangent on. Okay, it really helps. So these are the essential keys to note on your keyboard. So if you need help in anything, you press F1. I think with that one, it will take you to how do you call it, the internet. If you press F2 to expand the history, F3 to bring out the object snap, the F4 will bring out the 3D object snap, F5 will bring out what? So it has all these features are there, and the uses of these features, all these features are here. All right. So after the class, I'll share this book too. I'll share this PDF to you guys. After the 3-day section, I'll share this PDF to you guys. So I think Please, any question about what we've discussed so far? We're about to go into the next phase of whatever you want to achieve. But I want to make sure you guys understand. Any question? Please, any question?
I think to this far we have gotten you.
Please, you said?
Said we have gotten you to this far.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we will continue. So now we've talked about most of the features. Let me check whether there is any feature left for me to talk about. Okay, so we've almost talked about all the features, right? We have almost talked about all the features. Now, when I want to, how do you call it? Tilt my drawing to move around this way, right? I can either use these two, the orbit, right? To move around and left click on my mouse, hold it and drag my mouse around like this. Or I can just press Shift on my keyboard and press the scroll button on my mouse, Shift, and just drag my mouse around. That's a short method. Assuming I've made a drawing, a 3D drawing, I want to be quick and check something, I'll just take it and tilt it around. All right. All right, so let us continue. So now having talked about all these, let us dive into the how do you call it? Inventor software, right? Okay, let me quickly rush you through all this. So all what we've talked about, we've discussed the 2D space, right? So let us move into the 3D space. Let us move into the 3D space at the AutoCAD software before we move to the Inventor. So we have the solid part. When it comes to the home section, I mean this part. You see home, you see solid, you see surface, mesh, visualize, right? So with the solid, we use this mostly in solid stuffs. Assuming I want to draw a box like this, I'll just pick my box like this, just highlight, select any place or where I want to draw it on my desktop, drag it anywhere, give it a dimension. There's the dimension, the one highlighted in blue. So assuming I want to give that side 50 and I want to move to the next side to give it a dimension, I'll press tab on my keyboard, move to the next dimension, and I'll give it 50, meaning I've done what? A square, and I'll just lift it up like this. And let's say I'll give it 40, a dimension of 40. You see, it's very clear. Now we have your 3D object. So you press your home button. Now to view this in 3D object, since we were dealing in 2D, when you come to the view side, you can select this first one. We have the 2D wireframe. So we have the 2D wireframe, and we have the conceptual. Conceptual simply means displaying of a prototype of something. So meaning it is not actually the thing, but it is a conceptual. And the hidden simply means when you are doing a design, right, and you have a whole lot of details in them, you can select the hidden. It will just give you a simple part. We have the realistic. So this is how the conceptual looks like. A prototype, right? And these are, let me see. These are the hidden look like. You see, it has hidden, it has hide the grid, the lines over there, the grid over there. You see, all those grids are hidden, right? Now let me select, how do you call it? Let me select a different one. Realistic. You see, this gives me a realistic view. This gives me a realistic view. And let me select shaded. The shaded view is mostly or almost like the other one, right? Let's say shaded with edges. So this is what we mostly look like when when we are working in the 3D space, right? This is what we use. We use the shaded with edges, and we use the shaded with shaded of gray, right? We have the sketchy. We have the sketchy. We have the wireframe like this. Okay, so let me select the shaded with edges. Sometimes I really like the shaded of gray because of how the colors look like. Okay, so this is the 3D view. We have how to intersect and how and all those stuffs. They are all there. We'll talk about them. Okay, so we have less than almost 15 minutes for this meeting, this introduction session to be over. So let me quickly take you through to what you'll be doing next semester. That's the inventor. Right? Let me hide this up. Can you all see my screens, please? Hello?
No, please, it's Blair.
Okay. Belinda, please, have you been able to join? Okay, so that's not Belinda.
This is Benedicta.
Bene, yeah. All right, please hold on for me. I'm coming. All right, so let me share my screen to you. And please, can you see it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is basically the interface of the AutoCAD Autodesk Inventor. Right. This is the interface of the Autodesk Inventor. And it's almost the same as the AutoCAD, right? But with this space, you can do your part drawing. Part drawing simply means drawing parts by part by part. You can also do your assembly drawing. You can also do your normal drawing and your presentation, right? So I'll explain each of them. So with the part drawing, this is the parts. You select the part drawing, meaning you're about to draw item by item, right? And with this one, it's a little bit confusing, but I think you get it. As I'm explaining, you understand, you get to appreciate what I'm saying. So you see, it has similar features as the, how do you call it? The AutoCAD, right? It has similar features as the AutoCAD. Please, I'm coming in. Okay, it has similar features as the AutoCAD, all right? So with this one, before you start any sketch, we select our 2D sketch. You select your plane. You see, we talked about the X, Y, Z over here. And this one is where we are going to apply it more, right? We have the XZ plane. This is the XZ plane, the one lying flat. The one standing, this is the XY plane. And this is what? The YZ what? Plane. So the YZ plane, this is the YZ plane and it's facing this direction. This is the XY plane, is facing this, and this is the XZ plane. They are all what? The same, XZ plane. Yes. It's facing down. And the one standing here, facing here is what? The XY plane. The one facing here is what? The YZ plane. Okay. So assuming you want to start our drawing like this, it automatically gives us how the AutoCAD inventor looks like, right? How the Autodesk inventor, the inventor software, that's what it looks like. Okay, so you still have your line, your circle, your axe, and your rectangle, your fillet, your test. At the create and the modify model, the modify panel is still the same as the other. We have the move, we have the copy, trim, extend, split, scale, stretch, and offset. Right? We even have, and with the patterns, we have the rectangular pattern, we have the circular pattern. So you see the array we call at we said at the AutoCAD side that we have rectangular array, we have circular array, a whole lot of stuff. With this one, we have rectangular pattern, circular pattern, and we have the mirror. And with this one, we have dimensions and we have constraint. You see, constraint simply means to make something full or to make something complete in designing. To make something full or to make it complete as one set or one unit. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is basically the interface of the CAD software. And please, any question up to this point?
No, please.
Any question up to this point? So when I ask anyone any question, you'll be able to answer. Okay. I think most of you are not online, but we will still do it. Yeah. All right. So I think today we've talked about, so what have we discussed so far? What are some of the stuffs you've learned? All right. I want to hear from anyone. I want to hear from everyone. I want to hear from everyone. Please, I want to hear from everyone. I want to hear everyone's voice. Please, I want to hear everyone's voice.
Okay. Please, what I have learned so far on the AutoCAD inventor or the AutoCAD about the interface and some of the icons that will be needed in drawing, like
Okay.
the solid, the mesh, the surface, the view, and those things. Yeah.
Okay, who else? Who else? All right. Who else? Okay, so I think we've been able to conclude on a lot of things today. We have learned the interface of the both. So you see, the inventor and the CAD, right? It's almost the same. It almost has the same interface. So I think we've learned we've used one stone to kill two birds here. So we've learned the inventor interface and the AutoCAD interface. Tomorrow, God willing, right? I'm showing you guys something. Tomorrow, God willing, we are going to learn how to do the basic. We are going to learn how to do basic drawings, basic 2D drawings. I'm coming, please. We are going to learn how to do basic 2D drawings like this. Please, can you all see my screens?
Yes, sir.
Okay, like this. All these type of drawings, they are 2D drawings. We are going to learn how to do them. And trust me, by the time this period ends, right, please take advantage of this, because after this 3 days class, I'm not going to do anything for free. Right? Everything will be paid. So please make good use of this advantage. Make good use of this advantage. I want to share my screen to you. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen where I am now? Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, so before the lesson ends, we are going to learn how to do stuff like this. These are people's design. I follow some group online, and these are the designs they do. I think this is a lit machine. Oh, resume. Okay, you can't see the image, right?
Yeah, you can see the image.
Okay, let me allow that screen. All right, can you see it now?
Yeah, you can see.
Okay, so like this, these are all softwares used. I think the person used Inventor, Autodesk Inventor to do it. The lit machine to design all these components. This is the Inventor app. All this lit machine. And we call something rendering. Tomorrow we'll talk about that. I think it's supposed to be on our third meeting. We'll talk about how to render. They'll make the sketch and everything, then they'll render it to make the object realistic, you see. And there's a project I was working, like there's something I drew, I quite remember. It's, I think 2 years ago or something. I did it with Autodesk Inventor app. This was an assembly drawing and I converted it into presentation form. Right, very nice. This also someone's designs and someone's work. Okay. And personally, these are the projects I've done. Personally, these are all my projects. The projects I've done, all the designs I've done. All the designs I've done. These are some of it. Let me show you. This was my final year project. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, this was my final year project. The project I did my final year. I do this using this bearing. I do it using the Inventor app, the Autodesk Inventor software. But this one, I did everything using the AutoCAD. I did this one too using the AutoCAD. Everything you see here, I did it using AutoCAD. Nothing else, no software, no internet picture. I did it using the AutoCAD. My final year project. Right. I think this even at the workshop. I've seen it it's at the workshop now. Okay. And these are some of the designs I've done. So I'm trying to encourage you guys, learn the designing. It will really help. Learn the designing. It will really help. See, these are all designs I did with the AutoCAD app. So then I can oh shit. Okay, I understand. These are some of the designs I did to all these are some of the designs I did too. All right, guys. So time is almost up for the meeting to close or end. So I think you're only three. Okay, so I'll encourage everyone. Tomorrow, please, we'll dive into a lot. Since you now know the interface, tomorrow is the actual work. All right. Tomorrow is the actual work you are going to do. So please join in early. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow's time is 7 p.m. No, not 7 p.m. Please, what time are we meeting tomorrow?
Tomorrow is 7 p.m. right time.
Yeah, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Good. 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. All right, so tomorrow we will do a whole lot of things. We'll do a whole lot. So please, thank you all for joining, okay? Thank you all for joining. It is a great pleasure and benefits for us all.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Also,
Thank you very
for your
much.
precious time on